The Great Fire of London, one of the most catastrophic urban disasters in English history, broke out on the night of September 2nd, 1666. It began in the bakery of Thomas Fariner, also spelled Farinor, on Pudding Lane, close to London Bridge. A small spark, possibly from an oven left smoldering, ignited the premises in the early hours of Sunday morning. Because the summer had been exceptionally dry, the medieval city, built largely of timber and thatch, provided the perfect conditions for a firestorm. Once the wind picked up, flames quickly spread from house to house, overwhelming all attempts to contain it. At first, the Lord Mayor of London, Sir Thomas Bloodworth, underestimated the threat, dismissing it as minor and failing to act decisively. One method of fire control at the time involved creating firebreaks by pulling down houses to stop the flames from advancing. However, Bloodworth hesitated, fearing the anger of property owners. By the time King Charles II and his brother, the Duke of York, intervened, the fire had gained unstoppable momentum. Soldiers and civilians were eventually ordered to demolish buildings with gunpowder to form barriers. But by then, the inferno had already consumed much of the city. For 4 relentless days, the blaze ravaged London. Landmarks such as St. Paul's Cathedral, then a medieval Gothic structure, were reduced to smoldering ruins. Over 13,000 houses, 87 parish churches, 44 guild halls, and numerous civic buildings were destroyed. Although estimates suggest only a handful of lives were lost, officially fewer than 10 deaths. The true figure was likely higher, with the poor and unrecorded victims lost in the flames. Tens of thousands of Londoners were left homeless, forced to camp in fields around the city, surviving under makeshift shelters. The fire's impact extended far beyond the immediate destruction. It gutted the heart of the capital, crippling trade, displacing businesses, and creating a crisis of governance and order. In the chaotic aftermath, rumors spread and foreigners, particularly the French and Dutch, were falsely accused of starting the blaze. One unlucky scapegoat, a French watchmaker named Robert Hubert, confessed under duress to having set the fire, and was executed, though it later became clear he could not have been responsible. Reconstruction efforts began almost immediately. The task fell to visionaries like Sir Christopher Wren, who designed the new St. Paul's Cathedral, completed decades later as a symbol of resilience. Parliament passed new building regulations requiring structures to be made of brick or stone instead of wood, reshaping London's urban landscape permanently. The Great Fire of London thus stands as both a devastating tragedy and a turning point in the city's history. It destroyed much of medieval London, but paved the way for a modern capital, more resistant to fire and better organized in its civic planning.